It is called the Feast on Equality. The reason that it came about for me is heartbreaking to hear some of these stories. But Tom Arnold, who is the founder, is here to tell us how we can make this happen. Last year was... It probably blew your mind how successful it was.
It really was. You know, last year was our inaugural event, and we had over 320 guests. And, you know, the mayor was there. We had some other elected officials. And
wonderful dinner.
Wonderful dinner. Wonderful
atmosphere, great camaraderie and support and friendship there. Now, this is, I'm glad it was a success. I'm glad it was a success. Here are some of the pictures from that day. But I'm sorry that we have to do this, because what you're doing on this Feast on Equality, Tommy, is simply loving and taking care of those students who, for Thanksgiving, cannot go home.
That's correct.
But explain why. Oh, look at how pretty.
Well, you know, I started the event just because, you know, I've held a Thanksgiving dinner for these students that was, you know, one time a year, and that simply was not enough. So I wanted to start Feast on Equality so we could do more, provide more services, continuing ongoing services throughout the entire year for the students.
And this is for the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community.
That's correct.
A lot of them, you found, when you started this, stayed on campus because they didn't have a family to go home to.
There are plenty of students that are in crisis, and Brian Buford, the director for the LGBT Center, does some amazing work down there. And because of the funds that we raised $86,000 last year in our first year.
Which is amazing for a first year thing. You know that's amazing.
It's a little mind-blowing, but it's all good stuff. And, you know, this year we have several corporate sponsors. We have Brown-Forman, we have PNC Bank, we have Humana, and plenty of other sponsors as well. And so we're able to do even more. But most importantly, last year, you know, we've really helped Brian with his budget. You know, we all live and work off of a budget.
Everybody has a budget.
And so with the funds that we did last year, he is able to do even more for the students. You know, there's students all across the spectrum that he helps. Students that are in crisis, and then there are students who are out and they're comfortable in their own skin, and he's helping them become, you know, contributing members of society by implementing, you know, leadership development classes and that sort of thing. And last year, one of the most exciting things is we're able to help them in terms of higher education, because U of L actually is doing some groundbreaking work. Because of the funds from Feast on Equality, Brian was able to take 12 students based on application to the first LGBT study abroad program in Greece. So
Greece.
Yeah.
I want to go to Greece.
Yeah.
That is fabulous. You know what is heartbreaking for me, I guess? I wish you could see what it looks like at my home for Thanksgiving. There are puppies here if you're wondering what's going on here. Grand is here if you hear a little noise back there. But in my house, when Thanksgiving comes about, oh my gosh, there's food and there's laughing and there's loving, and it's crowded and it's noisy, and it's a place full of love and support. And I would want that for any person, regardless. I hate putting labels on, but regardless. But you all have to have this event. So that same thing is implemented right at U of L.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. And
what can we do to help? What can the public watching today do to help to make sure it's a success?
Well, there are lots of things that they can do to help. First of all, they can come to the event. We would love to have their attendance. They can purchase their tickets or tables at our website, which is feastonequality.com. Or on that same website, you can also make a one-time donation where if they can't come to the event but they want to contribute to our cause, they can also make a donation of whatever size they would like there.
Well, there it is, feastonequality.com. Let me tell you, though, Feast on Equality, November 22nd. It will be Friday, 7 p.m., just a lot of greeting and meeting. Cocktails, saying hello and hugging. If you don't want to hug me, I suggest you put your hand out, because that's what I always tell people, because if you don't put your hand out, I'm immediately going to go in for the hug. It will be at the Kentucky Center for African American Heritage. This is a new place because it wasn't there last year.
Well, we outgrew our space last year in our first year.
Well, that's something. That's at 1701 West Muhammad Ali. Individual seats are $100, or you can just go ahead and buy a table. That is $1,000. Proceeds, again, benefit U of L's LGBT Center. What happens there? Like I said, we're going to have lots of greeting and loving and all of that. As soon as I'm done with the 7:30, I'll jet on over. But what else will happen there at that dinner?
Well, we're going to have a 3-course meal by Susan Hirschberg with Wiltshire Pantry.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to have a cocktail hour starting at 7 o'clock. Dinner starts at 8. And we will also be giving President Ramsey an award that night. Of course, I can't tell exactly what for, but he will. But we will be giving him an award, and then we will do a reverse auction like we did last year, where we auctioned off sponsorships. We don't do a silent auction where we give away products, but we simply auction away sponsorships.
Yeah.
And last year we raised about $40,000 in 15 minutes.
Tell me, Arnold, you've got your work cut out for you to do just as good. Well, we appreciate what you do. And again, I know all the students feel the love and the support that you give them. And again, everybody, don't forget that date. You are invited November 22nd. That is a Friday, 7 p.m. cocktails, 8 p.m. dinner, Kentucky Center for African American Heritage. Tommy, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate you. When we get back, grand affair. It is a grand affair. Yeah, golden retrievers. That's what it is. Rescue and adoption. We'll tell you about it.